How would you feel if I told you that your chocolate bars came from this? Or that the shirt you're wearing was made by the hands of innocent children? Many people believe that slavery has ended, just a flaw of the past eliminated by numerous abolitionists throughout history. But did you know it still exists today? With the increase of globalization, slavery has become increasingly prominent because of human trafficking. Human trafficking is the trade of humans for the purpose of forced labor, sexual slavery, or commercial sexual exploitation for the trafficker or others. Human trafficking must be prevented because it is unethical. It prevents children from receiving an education and living a normal childhood. And it is a violation of basic human rights. Human trafficking is unethical because victims are forced to work in dangerous conditions for little or no pay at all. According to U.S. Congresswoman Kay Granger's article, human trafficking happens everywhere, yes, even here. She states that more than 20 million victims are affected worldwide, according to the International Labor Organization. The majority of those victims are forced to work for little or no wages, many of them in the commercial sex trade. More than a quarter are children. Because these workers are paid little or nothing at all, they are forced to sell their children into human trafficking or child labor. The endless cycle continues because many companies endorse human trafficking and child labor because it is economically cheaper. This will continue forever unless it is stopped and more people raise awareness to it. Human trafficking also prevents children from receiving an education and prevents them from living a normal childhood. In David Batstone's book, Not for Sale: The Return of the Global Slave Trade and How We Can Fight It, he reveals in a 2004 UN study that 700,000 children were forced into domestic labor in Indonesia alone, with staggering numbers, as well as in Brazil, which had 559,000, Pakistan 264,000, Haiti 250,000, and Kenya 200,000. The UN report also quoted that these youngsters are usually invisible to their communities, toiling for long hours with little or no play, and regularly are deprived of the chance to play or go to school. To put this in perspective, more than 5 million children will never receive an education. More than 5 million children will never experience a childhood. More than 5 million voices will be ignored unless human trafficking is prevented. Trafficking also violates basic human rights and is abusive. According to the article, Horrors of Human Trafficking by the Daily Star Net, the report describes how a 23-year-old Bangladeshi man was held captive and tortured mercilessly in Libya by a group of human traffickers. The traffickers had seized the man's passport, filmed torturing him, and used the videos they had captured to force his brother to repeatedly pay them exorbitant extortion fees in return for his release. No person should have to be faced with this torture, let alone children. Human trafficking is immoral and sickening. It is a violation of basic human rights. Unfortunately, human trafficking is economically beneficial to greedy companies. Although it is beneficial and cheap, it is immoral and needs to be stopped because it robs the dignity of millions of lives. It is time to break the chains of human trafficking because it is unethical, it prevents children from living a normal childhood and receiving an education, and it is a violation of basic human rights. It is time that we paid our price, a few extra dollars, to prevent another person, another child, from paying with their life. Please help these children, these lives, by supporting human rights organizations and raising more awareness to human trafficking. Thank you.